2, 390, 36 minutes. Stevenson, that's at about the 50-minute mark, 355 on up to Lakeshore Drive. The Dan Ryan, 29 minutes in from 95th Street. That's traffic. I'm Amanda Sternecki on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Brisk, bitterly cold, but beautiful sunshine, high 15. Currently 2 below at O'Hare. It is 11 below in Aurora. And your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Do you know the words to the song?
I don't sing.
Oh, that was really bad.
Listen,
Really?
let's before the guest hangs up. God knows I would.
Okay. Welcome back to the Dan and Amy Show. Sean from Elmwood Park filling in for Dan Proft on this very special Valentine's Day.
Pruning the audience.
Yeah.
It's known by Dan Proft.
Will you stop? Yeah. Thanks, Dan. He's in Washington, D.C. today doing something, and then he's going to be part of a press conference that's going to take place
He's breaking
early
Roger
this
Stone
morning.
out.
No. Roger Stone's already out. Paul Manafort, no.
Well, the good news is Roger Stone finally has use for that Nixon tattoo on his back.
Yeah. Oh, hey,
ahead.
there you go. All right. So Jussie Smollett, or Juicy Smollett, as he's been called, we all know about it. Kim Foxx first saying, political accusations against the special prosecutor Dan Webb, saying that the timing was off.
No, our office filed charges in this case. It's the disposition that was a cause for difference. But I think he had the facts and the evidence and a law to file charges.
I mean,
She's embarrassing even for Cook County.
And yesterday, Bernie Sanders came out to endorse her candidacy, saying, quote, "I'm proud to support Fox and other progressive leaders who have transformed the criminal justice system."
Well, in his defense, he has no idea what he's talking about.
Well, these new indictments that have come down, new charges filed against Jussie Smollett. He'll be here February at the end of the month to face those charges. But you know who wants some answers and some vindication?
Who?
Is the Ascendario brothers, who were paid to stage this attack. Here's their attorney.
They're doing the job she didn't do. So for her to say that this was in any way intended to affect her in a negative way is beyond the pale. They just want the public to know what really happened. They want the public to know what their role in all of this was, and they want the public to heal.
And one woman who wants to take Kim Foxx's job is former prosecutor Donna More, who joins us now on our turnkey.pro answer line. Donna, not only you want her job, but you think that she should resign.
Yes, that's right. Thanks for having me on, Amy.
Yeah, thanks. So we obviously she's not going to, but you and the other candidates are calling for her. Is this just a national embarrassment? I mean, this is not a local story by any means.
No, this is, in fact, I was talking to someone in Toronto yesterday that told me it was front page news in their newspaper. Ms. Fox likes to say that we are a national example. We are a national laughing stock. We are the butt of every comedian's joke. And the worst part is that the people of Cook County, who she is supposed to represent, don't feel safe and don't think she can do her job.
Well, I'm one of those people in Cook County, unfortunately. Here's my question to you. Are you running as a Republican or are you primarying her?
No, I'm in the Democratic primary.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So how many people are actually primarying her from the Democrat? Because I know there's the spoiled kid whose father's a
Conway, yeah, and then Bob Fioretti, and then Donna More. So are you afraid that you three will split the vote so then Kim Foxx is assured of victory?
Well, look, Fioretti is a perennial candidate. I don't think anybody takes him seriously. And in Cook County, Illinois, once you decide that Kim Foxx is not the person for the job, which I think the voters of Cook County hopefully have decided, then you have to take a look at me and at Conway. And, Mr. Conway stands up and talks about rooting out public corruption. First of all, he is a quote-unquote young lawyer. He practiced law for 5 years, and since he left the state's attorney's office, where he never got into a felony trial courtroom at 26th Street,
really?
he has been managing an equity fund for his father. So, all of a sudden, a decade later, he wakes up and decides, gee, maybe I should run for office. And he talks about rooting out public corruption. His family is the master of pay to play. His family's company came to Illinois. They paid off the likes of Tony Rezko and Bill Cellini and Stuart Levine millions of dollars to get pension fund money to invest with the family company. The three were indicted and convicted, as you know, Rezko, Cellini, and Stuart Levine. The Carlyle Group wasn't indicted, but they were kicked out of Illinois. We passed laws against that kind of activity. And, when he says he's going to root out public corruption, his family company is the pay in pay to play. No. So, based on experience, based on judgment, and based on independence, I am the candidate of change in this race.
I have to tell you, and I mean this, you sound wonderful, and you have my mother's first name. So I mean this.
Donna, you're a shoo-in
I mean
now.
this with absolute.
That's right.
I mean this with absolute respect. I do, but your entire party is guilty of everything you just said. Your entire party is what is the laughing stock and the laughing joke of Illinois. I am so sick and tired of the Democrats continuing to vote for the Ed Burkes, for the Mike Madigans, for the Dailies, and for the corruption you guys are comfortable with. I find it refreshing that you're running against it, but you don't stand a chance. I don't know why you're not a Republican. And I don't know why you're not making that argument as a disgruntled former Democrat who is sick of the corruption that has made Illinois a punchline.
Look, I don't disagree with what you're saying about our Democratic Party in Cook County. And I have, I grew up in my formative years. I was a Democrat. I'm running as a Democrat. I believe that we can change. We can make our party better. We can make it with people who want to do the job of the people. And I think we're at a point now in Cook County where the voters, the Democratic voters, are sick and tired of picking up a newspaper and seeing one of our electeds indicted by the feds. We even have cases coming out now where we have one elected bribing another elected. So I offer a new path. I offer a new way of doing business where we actually elect. I'm an independent. I'm not tied to the corrupt Cook County political machine. I'm not tied to a billionaire's ATM machine. I represent the future. And I think the voters are ready to say, we've had enough. We got to go a different direction, because if the Democratic Party doesn't elect good, qualified people, we will lose in the general election.
And in the meantime, Donna, we've all lost. I mean, the reality is I keep hoping for Democrats like you. I do. But I'm concerned with the complacency the Illinois citizen has just lulled himself to sleep with. Because the reality is, Donna, there are more people in on the scam than are fighting it. And that's why the conclusion of somebody who respects himself and his money, and I feel the same way, Donna, about a lot of the Republicans. And look at how they culminate together. Look at the Durkins and the Bradys and how they profit from the corruption. So at a certain point, don't you? I hope you win. But the reality is, if you don't win, are you going to do what Rauner did and get the hell out of here?
Well, I grew up here. We're raising our family here. My daughter's in high school. I believe that, someone very wise told me that you have to keep fighting, because you may not be able to change them, but you can't let them change you. And I've been an advocate as a lawyer for the last 30 years, ever since I graduated from law school. And, Sean, I believe that we don't have a choice. We cannot just give up and say, it's okay, I'm going to hide under a rock. we as voters in Cook County have to fight. And I am hoping that my message is out there and that the voters finally say, hey, we're not going to take another slap in the face. We're not going to let our electeds take us for granted. We are actually going to stand up and overthrow the political order here. And Donna is the way to do it.
All right, Donna More, I'm sure you heard that Elizabeth Warren endorsed Kim Foxx last week. Yesterday, Bernie Sanders endorsed her, saying that she's transformed the criminal justice system. Are you kidding me? I mean, about pandering for the African-American vote. It's just disgusting. Because tell us what she has done to the criminal justice system. Give us some concrete examples.
You know, and that's unfortunately what we have become, which is people, and especially our electeds, make decisions on their own future and not on the future of what is good for the citizens of Cook County. In my opinion, Kim Foxx has done two. First of all, overall, she has made decisions based on politics and not based on the law. That is always bad for the criminal justice system, you know, but again, inexperienced, none of my opponents, I think if I added it all up, they've tried 1.5 or 2 felony jury trials. Wow. So, you know, my experience is that I have been in the courtrooms at 26 in California. I've handled calls. I've tried rapes, murders, and armed robberies. I was an assistant U.S. attorney. I know how to try a public corruption case. But what Kim has done is she has either not charged, undercharged, and in particular with pretrial detention, she has not advocated for the pretrial detention of violent offenders because she and Tony Preckwinkle don't want to pay the cost of the jail, and instead they'd rather have all the neighborhoods, and in particular the black and brown neighborhoods, pay the cost of crime because they want to tout a murder rate that's gone down. The murder rate last year has gone up by 1/3 in our most vulnerable neighborhoods.
And Donna, for the first time since the Great Depression, Michigan Avenue has 1/3 vacancies. Property values are plummeting. Crime is rampant. The evening news, you can't get clean if you take 2 showers with Lysol and Amy's spray. And it's directly
Don't
because
forget my surgical gloves.
Right. The way they manipulated how you're charging criminals, raising it from $500 to $1,000. Listen, I'm a small business owner here too. Luckily, it's in DuPage County, but I think it should be to at least be reestablished at $500. Would that be part of your administration?
My administration would be based on accountability because you can't have a criminal justice system unless you have accountability. Now, what does that mean? That means that you don't stand up in the first few months of your tenure and announce that you are not going to charge whole portions of the criminal code like retail theft. Felony retail theft here is at $300. Ms. Foxx announced that she wasn't going to charge a felony unless it was over $1,000 and the person had 10 prior convictions. If people here think that $300 is too low of a threshold, go to the legislature and change it. But what you don't do is announce to the world that you're not going to prosecute, because what that does is exactly what happened. We are now one of the top 5 cities for retail theft. Our criminals think that they have carte blanche to go into stores, steal $995 worth of stuff, wave to the security camera on the way out because nobody will do anything. The store security won't do it because they know the police won't come. The police won't come because they don't want to waste their time not getting charges from Ms. Foxx's office. And so what's happened is your retail theft, now they're going in with guns, and it becomes an armed robbery. And that's what happens when you say blanket, we're not going to charge. You always have prosecutorial discretion, both at felony review, which is the charging mechanism in the office, and in the courtroom. None of my opponents have been there, of course, but you always have the discretion to look at a case, to look at somebody's background, to look at the whole person. That's what the justice system is about, and say they're trying to go to school, they have a parent that's interested. But what we have are organized gangs going into stores on Michigan Avenue, on State Street, and in neighborhoods throughout Cook County, and just stealing with no repercussions, and that is not acceptable.
All right, Donna More.
They come by me, but they never come.
Yeah, Donna More. Where can we find out more information and contribute to your campaign?
DonnaMore.com. DONNAMORE. It's with one O, gang, because you deserve more.
Ah, I see what you did there. All right, Donna More with one O, DonnaMore.com. Thank you, Donna, so much for joining us, and good luck.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, you guys.
Thank you.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available. For information, visit Illinois Concealed Carry Training online at icct.us. That's icct.us.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training.